Hey everybody, welcome to the Rob and Mariya show. We are back. I am Rob.
Maria.
And Mariya, before I forget, happy International Women's Day today.
Woo, thank you.
She's special every day, but today she's extra special.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Folks, we are continuing our series, Crime and Disability, and we are once again happy to have back Zach and Noah from the Crime Victim Center. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
All right. Today we are going to be talking about another type of crime. Last week we were talking about financial crimes, and this time we're going to talk about cyber crime. Now, for people who may not understand, what is cyber crime?
Cybercrime is just crime committed through the use of digital devices such as computers, phones, or crime committed through the internet. So you're going to need the digital device to access the internet. So it's a combination of really both.
Okay. Could you give us a couple of examples, Noah?
Yeah. So the one we have here are customer service scams. And these are scams where people set up a fake business profile online. It might be a real product that they have, but it's not really something they're looking to sell. So for example, you might be scrolling through social media and you see this nice product that you want to buy, but it's a business you never heard of. So you go online and you see this business, they have a website, they have everything. Then there's this number you can call. And when you call this number, they're going to try to sell you this fake product using payment methods. They might ask for your social security number, or if it's something related to a computer antivirus software,
Yes.
they might try to take over your computer by tricking you into getting access to your system.
Wirelessly, like wires. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the last one you mentioned, to my embarrassment, I almost fell for that one because I went onto this website and I got a screen that said, your system is infected with malware or something like that. Call this number immediately. So I called the number and they were telling me all kinds of, and I actually gave the person access to the computer because, these guys are good, let me tell you.
Yes.
And it got to the point where they're telling me I had to go to Target to get like $3,000 worth of like
Gift cards.
gift cards. Yeah.
Yeah.
And at that point, I thought, okay, this is ridiculous. You know, I called the credit union to let them know that, and they said that whole thing's a scam. So I just hung up on them. And then a couple of days later, the same thing happened. And I was like, well, I know it now. Yeah.
You know who's like really the main target is elderly people, and
Oh, sure.
you
Yeah.
know, they have no idea what's going on, and yeah, they get taken like a lot of
They really do, yeah. And guys, we were talking a little bit about people with disabilities, specifically people with mental disabilities. And I think we need to re-emphasize that across the board, people with mental disabilities, I think, are more vulnerable to crimes in general.
Yeah.
So I think it just, first off, it's important to remember that everybody, regardless of disability, is at risk of something like this happening to them, especially if they don't have the proper knowledge to know when something is a scam and not legitimate. But specifically for people with mental disabilities, they might not have, the capacity to feel out when something seems fishy, when it seems wrong. And that's oftentimes where we see cases of like catfishing happen, whether it's on social media, dating sites, whatever it is, but they don't have the knowledge to know, like, hey, like this person's profile is like looks a little too weird, and it might not resonate with them. And that's kind of something that we're trying to do, is just make everybody aware of what these more popular ways that they go about it are.
I remember this was a while ago, but someone supposedly from the Social Security office was calling you to let you know that there was a warrant out for your arrest, and they were coming to actually arrest you and take you to jail. Well, I ended that by saying, I've been in jail, it wasn't that bad. And that was the last time they ever called me. But it's just, it's like nonstop. They keep coming up with more and more elaborate ways of trying to figure out and part you with your money.
And you know what I'm scared about is this whole AI thing. And
oh yeah, it's frightening. Yeah.
And it's not just designs and stuff; it's actual like phone calls, robotics.
Sure.
Like, how are you going to tell the difference when they sound perfectly human?
They can be like a relative who they say, I have an emergency, I need some
recording
money.
you guys talking, so now they have that little. Oh God, it's scary.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my gosh.
And what they recommend for that is having a safe word when people dress up. That does happen, and you hear their voice. Try to use that safe word.
It's gonna be.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Pineapple. But
what are some other things that people can do to try and guard against cyber crimes?
Well, I think, and I'll let you go after, but one of the first things that, like, even when I first got a computer when I was, 10, it's make sure that and it's really simple, but just make sure your antivirus software is updated on your computer.
Okay.
Because, it's one thing to give them the information they might need, but it's another if they can actually be on your computer because you clicked on a fake link that took you somewhere that you didn't want to be. But
yeah.
Oh yeah. So if you're browsing the internet, just make sure you spell the websites correctly. Use the right domain extension. So if you're putting .com, make sure it's the full .com. And if you're going to call a bank that you're currently a customer with, you may already know the phone number, but it's always a good idea to check bank statements and look for the phone number that way. You try looking up the phone number online, you might get sponsored results that aren't even the real phone number.
That's true.
What kind of security, like Norton, would you suggest? Norton Security.
They any of the reputable companies, they
Major
all,
ones,
yeah.
Okay. But there's not one that's better than another one, or does it depend on the type of
I'm
computer
pretty
you
sure the
have?
price too.
Sure, yeah.
A little
yeah.
effect on it.
They're all going to have their pros and cons.
Yeah.
Okay. What about Facebook? Like, when I get a friend request, I don't know now whether it's real or not. How do you know? Or is there no way of really telling?
So from the profile itself, I don't really know if there's a way of telling, and I think what really the way to be safe is, for one, only accept requests from people that you actually know. And then if you are suspicious that maybe somebody created a profile under their name and their picture, just find a way to get in contact with them, not through that profile, just to make sure that if you have any suspicions, it's better to be safe than sorry.
Well, you could message them without accepting their friend request and say, hey, do I know you, or how do we know each
But at the
other?
same time, you can message them, but they still have now access to go over your profile and look at it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You could do the same to them, but since you accepted that messenger, they can view your profile.
All right.
That's what you do, is just give that person a phone call, send them a text message outside Facebook.
Video call me. I want to see if you're real.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Okay. So what else we have here for cyber crimes? Anything? Any other comments you'd like to make, or any other words of wisdom for people out there to guard against, or types of crimes to watch out for?
Yeah, so one thing we really want to mention is the unemployment scams. Those also fall under our cyber scams, because you can have job opportunities posted online, and they're targeted towards people with disabilities. So I do have a statistic today for you.
Okay.
The unemployment rate for people with a disability was 7.2% in 2023. And this is twice the amount of those with no disability, which was reported at 3.5 in 2023. So just to go back to the scam is just posting a fake opportunity online where it's really going to be a job, but the catch is we'll use the shipping job scam, for example. Someone will get that job. They provide their bank information for payments for their pay. And their job is to receive packages from their employer and reship them. But guess what they get caught with? Import fees, export fees.
There's
Okay.
always fees.
Yeah, so they're having you take all the custom fees by sending it out to another country. And the other catch is oftentimes these jobs require you sending out illegal items.
Oh, jeez.
So
Okay.
really, the person that takes this job is going to be liable for sending out those illegal items, even though they're working for a business they thought was legitimate.
Yeah, they can't just say, well, I didn't know it was illegal. They're still stuck with you. Okay. Wow, that's a new one. I hadn't heard of that one before.
Yeah.
Anything else,
I didn't know
though?
that at all.
Just to avoid these scams, reach out to your local employment offices. Erie, PA has a lot of temporary offices that you can reach out to, and never pay for a job or equipment to do the job. The job is expected to provide you with that equipment.
Right. I think that's one of the catches that you can, the things you can look for. That's a big one. If someone asks you for money up front, 9 times out of 10, it's a scam.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's no way around that because they want that money. Yeah. Any other types of crimes?
So, I mean, it's always new what they're coming up with, what's there. So I think one of the biggest things that we can say is just to stay updated, read the articles about what's new, what they're trying to get people with, and how you can stop it, how you can detect it. And then if something does happen, then, call, like Noah said, if you get caught in one of the employment scams, call your local FTC and report the fraud. And then, it's a crime that happens to you, so we're always here for services as well.
Okay, I was going to ask that. So it's kind of like it would be like the last week we were talking about you would give referrals out and things. Okay.
Yeah, and our biggest thing is just understanding that all crime can have an effect on a person, regardless of if it's physical, if it's cyber. There can be trauma there, and you can feel vulnerable. So it's just important that everybody knows that we're here, that you can come to us. Wherever we can help you, we will, and it's completely free.
Okay. If it's a crime related to a job like you were talking about, Noah, can somebody also reach out to OBR? Are they aware of this kind of thing? I would think. I don't know. Maybe you know the answer to that, but what do you think, Mariya? I think it'd be a good place to start, maybe.
Yeah.
You could.
Yeah.
You could add that to your list. I'm sure they would be aware of it. I'm sure they've had some experience with that. Yeah.
And places like that, it never hurts to call, because at the very least, maybe they can't help you, but I'm sure they can give you a referral to a place that
Sure. OBR, by the way, is Office of Vocational Rehabilitation. We don't like to use acronyms too much here, but well, thank you, gentlemen. It's been great, and shining a bright light on cyber crimes, and it's definitely something that we need to watch out for. It seems like technology and morality don't advance at the same rate. So, folks, just as a reminder, we're going to be wrapping up Crime with Disabilities series in April. April 5th will be Cultivating Healthy Relationships. And our final podcast for crime and disability will be Prevention and Proactive Safety. So thank you so much for being a part of this. And thank you once again, Zach and Noah from CVC, Crime Victim Center. And we can't wait to see you again. I am Rob.
Mariya.
And see you next time.